All right, everyone, we start off today talking about Mark Zuckerberg, as I call him. Meta has decided to get rid of the DEI branch, so to speak, so there are no more tampons in the men's bathroom, and sometimes, I guess, maxi pads, if I remember correctly. And like the woke diversity inclusion bullshit has been excoriated from the company, and that process is ongoing. Link in the description, archived, of course. Some people are hailing Mark Zuckerberg as a champion of free expression. Wow, he's come to his senses. He's just like us. No, he's not. This is a John Fetterman moment more than anything else. It's the same thing. The fact that a person is right occasionally and occasionally makes the right decisions, number one, is not indicative of the fact that they have deep principles with regards to free expression, the right to bear arms, states' rights, anything like that. That's number one. Number two, Zuckerberg is basically just mimicking Elon Musk. He's looking over at Twitter, which was a dying company, because they were banning every other user under Agrawal for years. And he said, Elon Musk took over the company. And all of a sudden, things got better. Twitter is more relevant than ever. Oh, maybe I should try that. That's what he's doing. The fact that he's going to the Mar-a-Lago, parking his plane next to Donald Trump's and stuff like that, is literally just a floor show. It's an attempt to increase the platform and to make money. Now, I don't begrudge him that. If you've got a company, of course, the whole goal should be to make profit. You know, you have to appease the shareholders, you have to supply the infrastructure to actually have the site. You personally want to make money. I don't have any problem with Mark Zuckerberg on that token. But it's not out of any deep-seated principles. If he thought the money was in censoring things, in fact-checking, in DEI, he would stick with it. Since that's clearly no longer the case, it's not actually the case, he's decided to abandon it because he knows where the money is. That's the only thing that you're seeing here. And I see some people on the right wing, of course, myself not being one of them. I'm an independent. I see some people who are like, so-called principled conservatives saying, oh, Zuckerberg has seen the light. No, he hasn't. Yeah, he's seen the dollar. That's the whole point. He's not doing this for you. He's doing it for himself. He's not being principled. Even Elon Musk, I think that he's from South Africa, okay? From a country where discrimination against white people is pretty common. Unless you happen to be in a gated community, you're probably going to get, stalked through the streets or maybe macheted or something like that. So I think that he has some genuine principles with regards to free expression. And I think the Doge thing is a good idea, of course. The idea of having, well, it's not a bureau, it's an off-hook sort of advisory council with Ramaswamy, by the way, too, who, again, I have my problems with, to increase the efficiency of government. I think it's a good idea. But at the same time, part of it is, hey, I've got this company. I've spent billions of dollars acquiring it. I want to make those billions back and increase my net worth. That's really what it's about with these people. You don't need to begrudge them of this because they're doing good capitalism. But the fact is that the free expression thing at the corporate level with Zuckerberg and certain others is mostly just a facade. It's mostly just, hey, give us more money, give us more business. Hey, I'm a champion of free speech. Use my fucking website. That's basically what it pans out to. Zuckerberg, for years and years and years, was censoring conservative voices and also, by the way, far-left voices. There was a big scandal. This was far beyond the Twitter files. And nobody seems to remember it other than me. I seem to be the only one that ever covered it in the first place. There was a purge of pages on Facebook, specifically. This was 2012 or thereabouts. And the conservative media that covered it said, well, Facebook goes after conservatives, Tea Party pages mainly. And they were fundamentally correct. They were going after them. That was absolutely right. But there was a lie by omission because some of the sites that were being gone after, some of the pages rather, and profiles, were like Cop Block and stuff like that. They were leftoid pages, progressive pages, so-called. And the same was true of the IRS scandal with Lois Lerner. It wasn't just conservative groups that were being targeted for lack of nonprofit status, like denying them that status. There were also far left groups that were being targeted. Nobody seems to remember that aspect of that either. It was very funny at the time. Even the leftoid politicians never said anything about it. Bernie Sanders said dick about it. This is way before the Squad. This is ancient history at this point. Again, I'm one of the only people that probably even remembers this happening. They've tried to memory hole it and gaslight the public. They're going after anything outside of the Uniparty. Big Tech is part of the Uniparty. At this point, the communication structure of Western civilization is fundamentally held by a handful of individuals who have formed effectively a gigantic monopoly, bigger than anything from the Gilded Era. Leftoids, by the way, should be livid about this. They'll look at the Gilded Era and they'll say, man, things were so terrible. Thank God for the rise of unions and the Progressive Era. We're in a second Gilded Era, so to speak. Only this time, the gilding is made out of zeros and ones. Zuckerberg doesn't give a fuck about your free expression. He only wants you to express yourself on his platforms because it makes him money. So, get lost if you think that he's a champion of free expression or free speech all of a sudden. Oh my God, he went on Joe Rogan. He threw the government under the bus. Yes, because he knows where the money is at. He's decided, he did a sniff test, and he decided which direction the winds were going in, so to speak, politically. And he decided to align himself with where the Uniparty was inevitably going to be dragged into going. That's to make money. The expression is literally secondary. That's just a symptom. The disease is the Uniparty itself. Oddly enough, at the moment, free expression, to an extent at least, controlled and algorithmically manipulated free expression is where the money's at. So, and he says, well, we're getting rid of fact checkers. We're not going to do that anymore. Bullshit. No, of course you're not going to do that anymore. No, you're just going to be more subtle about it. You're going to come out in public with the blessing of the Uniparty and say that you're going to promote free expression because it is profitable. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, the demotion will continue. Just the same as on YouTube, for example, where I'm posting this video now. Same as on other sites as well. The demotion will continue. The algorithmic manipulation will continue. There will still be government intrusion into these platforms, even under a Trump administration. Look, what happened under the last Trump administration? Syrian envoy wouldn't even tell the true troop totals over in the Syrian base that we maintain. Do you really think that they're going to tell Donald, who I think genuinely does believe in free speech after being persecuted for so long, do you think that they're going to tell you, or him, about all of the programs behind closed doors that they have with regards to censoring American citizens' opinions, or demoting them, or manipulating them in some way? PSYOPs have been going on for a very, very long time. You don't even need electronic communication for this to happen. They used to do it with fucking newspapers and radio and shit like this. They've been doing this for hundreds and hundreds of years. It's always happened. It's never going anywhere. So Zuckerberg is not a champion of free speech. If you want anyone in big tech that seems to have some principle with regards to this, it would be Elon Musk. Zuckerberg is simply trying to compete with Twitter at this point. It's actually kind of pathetic when you think about it. That's about all. Peace out.